this is Nurse Honeybee Van Golden coming back playing Disco Elysium. Sorry about, we're having some technical difficulties, and that we had some new developments over the holiday. We finally achieved obtaining a PS5. Yay! Clappy, clappy, clappy. So, we were finally able to get one on Thanksgiving Day, and it took a few hours, but we did it. And now we're playing Disco Elysium on it. So that's good. And this gift, this PS5 is supposed to be for Golgan's many gifts that we finally. Now I don't have to buy him any more gifts ever. It's supposed to be for his birthday, his Christmas, his Valentine's, his anniversary, his marriage gift, you know, all those gifts. So finally, we achieved the impossible. Okay.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Do you want to give me the controller? The colors in this game now look really nice compared to the PS4. Everything looks sharp and clean, and I'm hoping now that everything looks better, I might not fall asleep anymore.
Okay.
Use a little bit of echo. I think it was taking off the recording. What you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
The mic is already really low.
Okay. But the echo's not that bad?
Not too bad, but your voice is low, but...
My voice is low?
Yeah, let me try it again.
Well,
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
oh, I see what you mean.
You see how that voice is louder than your voice?
Yeah. What if you turn down the volume in the TV?
Well, then you can't hear what they're saying, right?
Oh, can I have my water?
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Let's see, put the thing over your ears. Yeah, like that. Now ask for your water.
Can I have my water?
And say, hello, I'm about to drink water.
I'm not gonna say that. What's all that noise in the background?
I was just thinking, What a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Does it sound better now?
Listening when you talk. Better.
What do you want me to say?
Say what just happened. Look, it's snowing now.
Now it's snowing. Ow! Mm.
Okay, go.
Am I talking right now? Is this, do you have it down low for, can you hear it up here or no?
Let's try to bring up your ear.
Kind of. We've been messing with this for like almost a half hour.
Okay, now your voice gets a boost.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
I was just thinking what a nice day for questions. She lights a cigarette pertaining to a murder investigation.
Do you see that? Her voice is louder than your voice.
Oh, is that bad?
You didn't hear that? Well, that means we can't hear what you're saying in comparison to what's going on in the game. You heard it, right? Hello. Okay. You see, look, it should be over there.
What? The little dot should be over there.
Okay, there. Now let's try to do the final test by talking to him.
Yes? What? Excuse me?
Excuse me.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch.
Let's go. Gotcha. With your voice.
Sorry, what?
You want to say something about what's happening? I seem to test your voice.
It's still snowing. Oh. I need to clean my glasses. They're filthy. It's hard to see. What, do you want me to take them off again? Yeah.
You're right. You have them upside down.
Oh.
They're supposed to be like this.
I thought I knew that.
The left is here.
Okay, how's that? Hey! Can you turn on the heater? I'm cold.
It's a little bit better on picking up your voice, right?
Right. No, you should turn it down though.
Okay, so what did we do last time?
We talked to her
And
she admitted she wasn't raped, and she had a physical relationship with not only the murder victim but also the murder suspects. Right?
okay.
Which it's definitely a person of interest. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it started. The sleepiness has started.
Well, look, we're finally able to go.
Yeah, so you
now
need
what's my objective?
you need to go back downstairs to talk to Titus and be like, bitch, your alibi fell through. That's a tiny little room.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice, there are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced, so it's completely clean.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
The one I smashed in my room?
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Stop distracting him! He has work to do! Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here!
Remember that was the other room I had gone through?
Uh-huh.
And had all the secret stuff?
So you gotta... What, you go downstairs?
Or run here? You see, look at that. You see where I ended up? On the other side of this door, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, are you sure you ended up on the other side of the door and not down the stairs?
No, because look, my room is over there.
No, I think you ended up down the stairs, not behind the door.
You see?
Then what leads upstairs? I think go into that door. This room has sat all over. It reminds you of yours.
This one?
Yeah, I don't think you've been in that door. Oh, it's just a bathroom.
It's your bathroom.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels or anything else interesting, it seems.
And then medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Whoa.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Oh.
Should I keep it to myself or say Nacra opioid antagonist?
Keep it to yourself.
Oh.
That's used for diamotion overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little
So, electrochemistry. L plus chemical hanger plus dress code mode of Smolin.
A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Mm.
Just taking in plain sight and listen.
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Oh, it went down. You told Kim about it.
Well, yeah, because I don't look what it says to do it.
Yeah.
You want to take it?
No.
So close the cabinet.
So it had naloxone in it, which is the drug that prevents opioid overdoses. But all the names they use are basically what they
So they're real names?
call it in Britain, because they called it paracetamol. Paracetamol is just Tylenol.
Mm-hmm. So that's how that works?
Yeah.
That's the same. So now what do I do?
You go downstairs to Titus.
I don't want to start that fight yet. Remember what's the other stuff I needed? Oh, hold on.
Yes?
So I talked to the witness. So that checks that off. I went over there. That's where I found out about the pinball stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I went up to the roof.
Why don't you want to talk to Titus?
Because remember what the point of it was?
What?
We're trying to get more information, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoa, look how fast it zooms in and out. So remember what we need to do now?
What?
Explore that area. You see, so she's there, right? Remember we're looking for her husband?
Yeah.
So now let's tackle this new area here. Wait, don't crack, remember.
Ay, ay, ay. Was that another trash dumpster? Did you press X?
Yeah, it wasn't reacting.
Oh.
Let me first go down here because there's someone there. Is that a detective?
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
I represent the Board of Wild Pines. Remember we're trying to find the person in charge? So she's in charge. And
No,
just
she
chilling on a boat.
represents the board. That doesn't mean she's in charge. She's like the go-between.
Here's what's
Faith,
good.
my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Hmm?
What is implied here? That you're a drunk? She hasn't actually said it to every drunk in town. It was spoken in jest.
I'm not drunk, I'm a police officer.
Of course you're not. It was only a joke. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You see, remember Wild Pines is who wants to get in. The strike is stopping them. Supposedly Wild Pines hired that mercenary.
Yeah.
And supposedly they hired that big guy to infiltrate the strike. You know, the right to work, right? You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What do you mean, archipelago?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Caillou. I thought we were in Revachol.
We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of Caillou.
I haven't seen anyone else around the boat
I
yet.
haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri-Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Lavachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
You see? Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
Bro, come off like I'm envious and I'm not. Why am I even thinking about this? I have police work to actually yes, I need to nail her for this.
You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then. Unburdened by envy.
Does she have a name? Because I don't want to start a fight with her if I need your help. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word it feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Don't you know all boats are supposed to have female names?
Yeah.
Because what?
I don't know, because that's how it is.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about sleek fish? How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
I just like the name for some reason. Is that the name of his wife?
I don't know.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
Why doesn't she want to name the boat?
She doesn't understand the concept.
What kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
What?
The eels.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
Or do you have a license?
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
I think I have a hand on the boat thing.
Good.
Wow. So you see how we have to talk to everyone? Because look, how would we know that the Wild Pines person was on a boat?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
What do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are they in the tribes?
Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the rooming began of remark. Don't you know I'm having that conversation in my head? How much money does Wildpine have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
That's it. I thought Wildpine was supposed to be big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Wow.
And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions. Wildpines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wildpines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormentanga on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with the royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wildpines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world, that's quite the never defeat. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. I can't believe it's nothing without them. You see strike? That's all I need to know.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Elements. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus, I will slay it. I never repealed that. One wants to disturb an octopus.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Where's your role in it precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wildpines and return with Wildpines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you remember Measurehead?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Measurehead.
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
Okay, just put it around your neck or no?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
You could just have it like this, with your ear open. Do you see?
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
You see, is that relevant now?
Yeah.
Strikes. Let's see, talk about it.
There's the Red Cross.
They want medical and overtime.
Yeah.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Happened to Gaumont.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posture.
What are your demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
I don't know if they got overaggressive calming posturing. You like to have no idea, but I forget I wanted to ask something else about the strike. I want to be on our good side, so I can say over-aggressive calming posturing.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
What does that even mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. What are you going to do? That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
The boy at the gates, you see? Remember the Mexican guy?
Yeah.
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare. Because that's not what's his name, right? The other one, what's his name? Because the one with the union is... What was his name?
I don't remember.
Do you remember the guy I was talking to?
You mean the guy that has clothes that don't fit him right?
No, the guy I was talking to that said that they were like cops. Remember the guy who told her to say it was rape?
Oh, Titus Hardy?
Yeah. So who's Mr. Clare? So Mr. Clare is Titus's boss. Which means Mr. Clare is also the boss of Measurehead, right?
Yeah.
That's why Measurehead talked to him about Mr. Clare. Okay, let's see what he says.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Is he that bad? He's saying that Everett is a hero of the work. Everett is a hero of the workers' movement. You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
Yeah.
He can't be that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What's about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say...
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Rochelle, basically a socialist mob? I prefer not having an opinion on these things. See a leech?
Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
More things, something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Is that the woman they're talking about? So that's not the rape victim.
No.
It's the 8th Hardy Boy, remember?
It's a different...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help?
Hold on.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
I got a new thought. The 15th in the tribe. Temporary research bonus none. Research time 5 hours. Let's see, the 15th in the tribe. Let's see what bonuses that give. Plus 10 cents for every green orb clicked. Learning cap for Savor for every 6. Wow, all 53 thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. Apparently that's a big mural. Do you see that? How every thought was like that in a different location? Look. It's essentially part of a giant mural that it took the person a year to make. Like, this is what the mural looks like. You see this?
Oh.
It's like a giant thing. You see how part of it is there, then it gets highlighted?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, save game. Save. Let's think.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Yes, being Mr. Reasonable, someone's got to keep it sane around here. This is because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it? I'm not saying none of the above to political stuff.
Of course, a radical centrist. In these bright and loud times, where 1,000 frequencies drown one another out, sober thinking is a radical act. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
First, where is this Kingdom of Conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
Have you ever heard of that before? Don't rock the boat? But what about all the things that are wrong now?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What's sang for?
Wait, is the kingdom of conscience really about doing things or just preserving the status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
Yes.
There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress.
But what's what the kingdom of conscience actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Let's go on then.
Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
I said, all right, let's join these and slow down. All right, then let's get there eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner from Evershaw. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Have you ever heard that? -2 to half-light, calm water, research time 1 hour 20. Read what the kingdom of conscience is. So you read it there?
Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue, and they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once their nuanced plans have been realized?
Volition and logic. Moralist dialogue options heal +1 morale. How many skill points do I have?
Oh, I see what they did
It raises the power of volition and logic. Keep your morale up and logic. Okay, time to get back in there.
You're back? Good. What can I help you with? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Uh-oh, my badge.
You don't have your badge.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you recently suffered from amnesia medical? My lost badge related to that.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I couldn't eat it for all I know. I don't remember anything this for all of the city, nothing. It's possible after a night of heavy drinking I lost, yes?
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Oh shit. I gotta give an answer. After a night of heavy drinking.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
How do I negotiate my way? I would need a higher suggestion, which I have 2 points to get my suggestion higher. But I say it's right before this, right?
Yeah.
Feelings will guide the way.
But man, I need to know about the lunch. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
It is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
This is the entirety of my
She's
existence.
silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
This boat, for example, and the whole somewhere, I only have this case.
Officer.
I don't remember anything such as luncheon. There's only this case, and this goes, and this case is what I will be known by.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible. The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it.
That's what I need to do. Bust the drug trading. Who does drugs? Kuno and his father. That's how it comes around. You see how it's all connected?
Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Really, I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
May propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're selling the union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear any of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
You could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
You see that? So to do that, my suggestion would need to be higher. I think I could increase my suggestion with my clothes and then put a point into it just to get a 50-50 shot. I'm so really hungry. You see, look. If I go here, right now I'm getting a -1 suggestion. Bonus from items. One of the items is hurting my suggestion. But what? My shoe, my necktie, my glasses, my hat, my pants, my shirt. Ah, my shirt is hurting my suggestion. What is hurting my savoir-faire? Bonus from items. Okay, my suggestion is now at 3. Dried maybells.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
As I say, an Insulindian lily or a maybell. Girls pin them on their...
This flower is a spring flower. The petals feel dry.
So what can I do?
I don't know.
See what this does to my suggestion. Inland Empire +2, authority -2. Maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna talk to her and see if I can break her.
You're back.
Here we go.
Good. What can I help you with? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
My badge is lost.
See. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional. He is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional.
Here we go.
Negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Look at that, sympathy for your amnesia. What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
Yeah, I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else. No, let's do it. Oh, look at this. A dirty alliance, sympathy for your amnesia. Look how high I got it. Let's go.
Easy.
Yeah.
Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way they'll show you our law enforcement credentials. You seen I didn't put a point, right?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what? You see suggestion, isn't it?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's the hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
No, but this time I didn't. I got the suggestion in there.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would. Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. No, if there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this select drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wildpine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, man. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the dock workers union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
Am I gonna need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like this, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However...
Remember how the bridge is raised and that lady's husband is on the other side?
This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
Remember, I need to find why the bridge was up?
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
I did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
And proof you have that the union's
How
involved.
do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the fourth month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
Sources being funded with drugs. What do you think of that?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Or you have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yes.
Okay, let's
According
pause
to my
here.
reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
You see, we could say that's all for now. And then we could You see, save it. So then we don't have to go through every, like, talky thing. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So let me this be the last one.
Good. What can I
You
help
seem
with?
smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in. This is one of my missions.
This reality.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I am conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
You read that?
My theory is this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They're really one and the same.
Are they now?
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Oh, look at that. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
You see, am I getting a good repertoire with her? And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
This is probably going to take a while, so I wonder if there's a way to get out. Tell me more about Martinez.
I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is
It's not
this?
really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
Kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. our centuries.
Who built this
The
city?
nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Rochelle built?
In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve
They
history?
say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Right here.
We're standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200 million people, in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connected tissue. It's where the money is.
This island sustains up to 200 million people. So we're on an important part of an important place.
Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor, light reflecting off their glass windows.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly.
Talking jamais with the realization.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Their realization.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Monsieur will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue
Better
later.
not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
There we go. Quick save. Alright. That's where we will stop. You can watch back what we missed, okay?
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you for watching our stream. See you later.